Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Jasmine. I have a 4-year-old son that is nonverbal on the spectrum, and this is Miss Maya, his former teacher. You could go ahead and
Yes, I'm Miss Maya. My students call me Miss Maya. I'm Maya Smith, and I had the pleasure of having Christian, her son, in my classroom for 2 years. He is, he's the light of our life. When he entered into our classroom, he was the baby of the room, and then this year he was the big boy in the room. So it was a good experience for him and for us. And I was explaining to Mom that my own son is 11 years old and he's on the spectrum, and
his name is Christian,
and his name is Christian, which made it, I think, a whole lot easier for us to communicate with one another.
Oh yeah, definitely. When Christian was gonna start school, that I was very nervous because he is nonverbal, and you hear so many bad stories about teachers or like kids getting lost or like being able to leave. So I was like freaking out. But the way that you talked to me and the way that you were so calm and like just happy and energetic, and you were like, I'm ready, I got my running shoes on, and everything.
Yes, because we didn't know what to expect.
Because I remember at that time I was like, he runs, like he
never ran. I was waiting for him to run because we put him in a situation for him to run, and he was like,
I think he probably sensed from the beginning that you were like, no, you're not. Because I'm telling you, he senses these things. Like he'll be like, okay, this person, he'll let me do this, she won't let me do that.
You're so right.
Yeah, so he did so good with you.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
I don't remember if I said it, but unfortunately she won't be his teacher next year. We're losing her. We're getting somebody new, so it's scary. So I thought I would make a quick little video just talking about school, maybe getting some tips from you for the moms. I've had a few people comment.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, because it's on my mind, I'll forget. So the one thing for moms and teachers, you want to make sure that when you meet the teacher, that the teacher has high expectations for your child. And I understand that, your child is, is on the spectrum, and not for us, our kids were, somewhat my Christian was somewhat nonverbal when he went to school. He was very verbal, but he wasn't, like maybe communicating the way we wanted him to. So it makes you concerned, but you need to meet the teacher, know the environment that your child is going to be going to. Don't just wait until like that first day of school and say, okay, so this is the school. I would try to meet the teacher to see what, see them in action before they actually, because your husband came, and I'm not sure if he came to the classroom to visit with us, but you got a chance to see what our classroom consisted of before.
And he talked to you on the phone, I remember.
Yes, he did. Several times.
And he was very like, she's nice. Yes. Like she has a child and this and that. Yes. And I was still like, I don't know. But
and I could tell from the, he never said that you were interested in him going to school, but as a mom, I knew. He was like, well, yeah, you'll get a chance. He said, well, here's the mom's number. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you for having, and I said, thank you for giving me her number, and I will contact both of you. And then after meeting you, I don't think I've ever contacted your husband again. Yeah. I only contacted you because I was like, well, because his number was at the top, and then I met you. I was like, yeah, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay.
Even I got the feeling like it's fine. Like I was able to leave him. Like I remember it was the cafeteria, and you guys were like on him immediately, and I just walked away like, okay, I guess I'll be leaving, because he was fine, and he didn't even look at me anymore. So I'm not gonna be like, bye, son, I love you.
It's
like
hard.
You have to just,
it's hard to do that.
Yeah, it was. I wanted to, or I wanted to like walk to the room, but I'm like, no. The better thing for him, and you have to think about him, not yourself.
Yeah, that's
right. It's like just if he's already okay and he's sitting down, and you guys have him, like let them get him. Like, you have to kind of like step away because in a way I was telling you like I wanted that like feeling of like he's gonna miss me, but at the same time it was good that he didn't have that. Like it was easy. So what would you say to a mom that has a child that is kind of like the child's attached and will probably have a meltdown?
The whole thing is that we've had clingy moms. You've met them. We love you guys, but y'all look clingy. Yeah. So when
we've all been there too. I wanted to be one, and now I'm like, it's okay. I told them. I told moms. Like when, there was one mom that was very emotional, and the child was very emotional too. And I just wanted to make sure that she was okay. So I met up with her afterwards. I'm like, trust me, you have nothing to worry about. She is amazing. And she's like, really? But he's nonverbal. I'm like, mine is too. Yes. Like, you just have to let him be. And he was awesome afterwards.
He was. Yeah. He was. And then, but see, he and Christian bonded a whole lot. And then both of them being nonverbal. And then after a while, he and Christian was so close. I remember that day I told you that we were helping Christian put on his shoe, and he was like, ush, ush. And we were like, what does he say? He was saying push. He was telling Christian to push. He was like, oh, they're communicating.
They
have
talking. Their own language. Yes. They have their own language. And it's so funny because I love being in the classroom with you guys. And I'm like, okay, if I have to leave, I'll go down. But like I love seeing the little kids, like how much they improve. Like the little boy, like you could say he didn't have that much language or like this and that, and then like as time went on, I was like, oh my God, you're doing this, yay!
Oh my
like,
gosh,
wow, you're doing that.
He blossomed so well. I mean, and it's because of the environment.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's okay to be nervous or scared or like I understand, but it is so good for them. Like just seeing that, like being in that class with kids and like having teachers and like
that are concerned about your child.
And as a mom, I think, like I said before, we baby them. So
I still baby them.
I think the potential. Well, personally, I feel like we kind of like baby them to the point that they could do so much more, and I don't let him. You know, at school, it's like you guys expect a lot from them.
So as soon as they walk in through the door, I was telling Mom that we don't do anything. We watch them. We tell them what the schedule is, or it's visible for them, so they understand.
The backpacks and
So when he walks in through the door, you know, we walk him through the routine, like backpack, and then they have to, and it was difficult. Oh my God, the other kids are sitting down, they might be eating, and Christian is still putting his backpack away, but that is his routine. I can't take the backpack from him because what happens is we take away their independence. When we start doing stuff for them, we think, I'm helping him. It's time for him to eat. He's not going to miss breakfast. I'm going to let him eat as long as he needs to. And then guess what? When he walks in the next 2 or 3 days, his backpack's up. He's sitting and eating with everyone else, and he doesn't expect me to touch his backpack. He's taking off his backpack. He's putting away his coat. He's putting away his dirty utensils and stuff from breakfast. So he's doing all these things on his own without his teacher prompting him. Okay, Christian, take off your jacket. You know, and Christian, put your, that right there, and then he expects it for me to say that to him, but I don't have to because he knows what to do. Yeah.
So now he knows, and to me, I'm always like, how do you guys teach him these things? But is it like routine? Like it's just like routine. Every day?
It is routine. And then the good thing about it is that he has a visual. And that's one thing that, you know, we forget. We're thinking that if we tell them to do it, then they're going to get it. No. That's not how it works. You show them. You show them how to do it first, and then you let them do it. Because I wasn't his visual. Now, if I were the only person in the classroom and there were no other students, I would get down on his level. I would have a backpack on my back. I'll be on my knees, and then I would put my backpack inside of my cubby, and I'd point to my picture so I could say, oh, that's Miss Maya. My backpack is in my cubby. And then I would back up, and then I would say, oh, Christian, your backpack. And I'd point to his picture, your cubby. And then he would have to take off his backpack, and I would wait. And then if he didn't do it right away, I said, oh, put in. And then he would try to put in. And then the whole point is that you want to limit your, like, want to touch him because you want to say, okay, you cannot. You cannot. You have to show, then you show them again. You put your backpack on, you take it off, and you put in. The visual is what helps. Because as soon as you reach in to help them, you've made them learning, I can't think of you're making them learn helplessness. I can't say it. I hope I'm saying it right. You've given them this thing where they're thinking, I can't do it unless my mom is standing right next to me. I can't do it unless my teacher is right here.
Yeah. So we want to help them, but in a way we're hurting them because they, like Christian will latch onto that. Like my mom will help me. You know, like I don't need to do this. Yeah. So if this thing is in the way of him eating food, like you said, he'll just understand, like, okay, I have to put this away. So like, let's not make it harder than it is. I'm just going to do it.
Yeah, he'll just do it. And it is hard for us to watch. Because as teachers, like, oh, God, I just hope he moves it. Or I hope he grabs a utensil.
Or like, just twist it a little bit. And like, that's me. And I think the main thing is we have to give them enough time to do these things. Because sometimes it's like Christian is, you know, taking a little bit longer. Or maybe he hasn't done it yet, but he just needs a few seconds to be like, all right.
And then I'm so glad you bring this up because we'll think that it has to be our way. Yeah. Because I don't care how the backpack is laying in the cubby. I don't care if he twisted it. I mean, if he bended it in half. Because sometimes one time, all the kids when they get frustrated, like, that doesn't bother me. I'm like, oh, you put it in, and you make sure you praise him. You put it in, good job, and you just go through the steps. You don't want it to make it so perfection. Like, well, if I don't put my coat on this way, then it's wrong. And then I'm gonna say this, and then somebody might be upset. But if we're leaving and the bell has sounded, and I've already told them, okay, so friends, get your backpacks and your coats. If their backpack is not on their back and it's not carried the way that we want it to be carried on their back or their coat in their hand, if they're dragging their coat and if their backpack is halfway on their back, it's time. We walk. Yeah. And in the process, they might be looking at us like, hey, you didn't help me with my backpack. We gave you plenty of time, friend.
Yeah.
And
no, but that's
I've hard for us to watch.
I've seen it personally though, where some things are like it's tough to watch, but at the end of that moment you realize that like, oh, like he really was testing you, or this happened because of this, and now he understands that he can't do that, and he won't get his way.
He knows.
I know there's I've seen a few instances, you know, so it's hard to see, like you said, even like for a parent and for teachers. I'm sure, you know, it's such a hard job. I feel like it's so rewarding but so hard.
And when they get it, y'all, I kid you not, we cry. We spend a lot of time crying and praising, because as soon as they get it, I mean, don't wait. Like, oh, okay, he put it in. You immediately praise. You praise them, and you make it a big deal. Like, oh my God! And then all the kids jump, and you know, let everybody jump in and have that moment with them. You celebrate immediately when they do something correctly. I know that one of my parents was like, well, she uses a sippy cup. I was like, we don't use sippy cups in school, and that's hard. That's hard. That's hard for me as a mom, because I want, you know, even as a mom, like, I want my child to have a sippy cup. You know, and so when the child chooses to drink from a tiny cup, you make that such a big deal. You're like, oh my God, you did it! You chose this cup over that cup. We're so proud of you. Like, make a, you know, just go wild. I mean, spend at least 2 minutes just going wild over it. Give them, you know, so much praise. Yeah. And as they go along, just continue on with their process. It's hard to watch. Yeah. And that's, you know, I mean, you know, you're welcome to my classroom, but even with my own children, it's hard for me to not do things for them, especially with my son being 11 years old and on the spectrum. It was hard for me to just, you know, request and require that he follows through with even now cleaning this room. Yeah, I want to go in there so bad. I kid you not, I want to go in there so bad and just clean it up. Yep. But the process for me would be to give him a visual. To show him what the room should look like. So I have pictures of that. So I'll show him what the room should look like. And then when he finishes cleaning the room to make it look like the visual, then, you know, I'll be like, that's good.
So he learns well with visuals?
Yes, he does. Nice. So always have something that your kids can go by. Okay? Because just you telling them, it's like you're barking, you know, just barking rules and barking directions. If they don't see you do it, then what's the purpose of them doing it?
Quick question as his teacher: do you think Christian learns well with visuals? Sometimes I feel like I don't know what would work for him. Like,
yes, he does.
Yeah.
When he comes into the classroom, like I said, he's a big boy. You've seen him. Yeah. He goes through the routine, just like he puts his backpack away. He gets his breakfast. When he knows that after he finishes eating, if it's his turn to go to the bathroom, and this is the good part, we don't go by who should go to the bathroom next. It's whomever is finished. Okay. You know, if they're finished and they finish first, then they get a chance to go to the bathroom. So he doesn't have to wait on Sally or Susie. Like, he knows I'll go into the bathroom after Sally or Susie. No, he goes to the bathroom when he's finished with his breakfast, and he knows to go to the bathroom. He knows how to. I know this is hard, but because it's different at home and school. Yeah. He knows how to pull down and he knows to sit. Yeah. And then we have to give him a few minutes. And they're like, oh, Christian, you win the party! And you just go crazy. And then you're like, okay, all done. And then it took us some time with him flushing.
Oh, yeah. But it's because a lot of places are different. Like, mine is a push down. Yours is this. And then some of them just go on their own. So, yeah, flushing is kind of hard. What you're saying makes me feel like I need a little bit more of a structure for him at home. Sometimes because he does have so much therapy and then school that I feel kind of like, okay, you're free. But, I mean, I think maybe he does need some visuals at home, and then he does need some structure. If what you're saying, like, if he did all that at school, I feel like maybe we should try that. Speaking about potty training, like, if I bring my 3-year-old, or like if a mom is new to the whole school thing, and like they always question like, how did you get started on the potty training? For me, I always answer like, school kind of did it, and then ABA kind of followed. Like, how do you go about that? Like, if you get a new kid, like
when you have a new student, diaper or no diaper, there is a routine. So when you come, like I said, after we go get our breakfast, because we pick them up in the morning, they go to the cafeteria, they grab their breakfast, they come into the classroom, they put their breakfast on the table, they put their backpacks up, then they come sit, they eat. After they eat, then if they're finished first, they go to the bathroom, and then we walk them to the bathroom, and they know the process. It doesn't matter, you know, how well you go to the bathroom by yourself. We take them to the bathroom. After the bathroom, then they know that as soon as they come out and wash their hands, they've done everything they're supposed to do in the bathroom. Then they hold on. Let me go back to our bucket. Yeah. And I have a cabinet, you know, with all the toys, and so we'll have this sitting on the floor. He knows the routine. He'll come through because he's gonna praise himself. He went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So then he gets a chance to choose a toy.
Yeah.
And he gets a chance to sit and play until I start the morning routine, because I may be dealing with another student who has a behavior.
Yeah.
So they have their toy. They're like, okay, whatever.
I'm
you know.
chilling.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. You're not happy right now, and Miss Maya's talking to you, so then you're gonna go to the bathroom. And then they just wait until they can just wait until everybody's finished with the bathroom. A lot of times there aren't any behaviors, but this gives them the opportunity to wind down and like get ready
have
to play.
his own time before.
Yeah, his own time. You know. Yeah.
So it all has to do with like you guys. It comes again to routine. Like I mean, obviously the child's not gonna know what to do, so you guys kind of prompt them. Like, okay,
Yes.
we're going.
Well, the whole good thing about having the typical and non-typical classroom is that when you come in, you do have the visuals. The typicals are pointing out, doing different things, and your kids will just follow through.
Yeah.
Because they'll see that visual, they'll see the actual thing happening. They're like, okay, so he put his backpack in, I'll put my backpack in too. And then sometimes the backpack doesn't go in.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it ends up on the floor. Do we argue about the backpack? No, we don't. Mm-hmm. They make it to play with their toys, like, oh, you forgot something. We walk them over there. And then they'll see their backpacks on the floor and they put it in.
Yeah.
You just teach them to transition, and then if they forgot something, you just follow through.
Yeah.
And minimize your verbiage as much as possible. You want to make sure they understand.
So kind of like point, like, oh.
Mm-hmm. You prompt, you'll prompt as needed. You're prompt as needed, and then you want to try to limit as many prompts as possible.
Because they get used to prompts too.
Yes, that's the whole point. That's why I said I kind of didn't introduce like saying we're prompted to do. We try to minimize as much as we can because we want them to be as independent as possible. Mm-hmm. So this be second nature that. Well, I don't have to get you a spark. Sparks are in the middle of the table. Just grab a spark. Your kids. Yeah. May I have a spark, please?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then here comes here you go.
I know it's not your fault. It's my fault too because I'm like, I didn't put the sports on the table. Yeah. It's my fault. So I have to, as the adult in the classroom, I have to really figure out the classroom. I mean, I have to really figure out the environment
and have it ready.
Yes, have it ready. You have to get on your knees and walk the classroom as a little kid. You're like, okay, so if I were a little kid, what would I grab? I mean, like walk through and actually take in the environment and just pretend that you're Christian.
There's so much to being a teacher. Like. It's so. I feel like when I walk in, I'm a little like stressed, like not in a bad way, but like it just makes me realize like how much you guys do. Like you guys have to think about every individual child's IEP. You guys have to make sure that there's a behavior over here. You have to handle that, but you also have to get this for this child. There's like so much going on. You have to like
and you have to make sure that you only address the behaviors that need to be addressed.
Yeah.
Because if you're like, don't do this, don't do that, do that, the kids are going to go crazy and they're going to start throwing stuff. And even though you have a schedule, they're going to be all off the wall. I mean, like, really, they'll go crazy because you're always nagging them.
Yeah. Now that you say that, I could see me doing that. Because, like, when we were at the beach the other day, Christian was, like, putting the sand kind of to his mouth or, like, maybe, like, scooting over to near the sand. And I'm like, Christian, don't do that. Christian, don't do that. And it's like he hears Christian don't do that so much that he doesn't even react anymore.
Yeah, he's like, I'm still
So that I with you saying that, I realized that, like, so, like, don't
set up the environment. So if you know that he's sitting next to the sand and you're like, the first thing my child's going to do is reach for the sand. You sit there. Yeah. You sit there and you put him in the middle. And then if he reaches for the sand, don't say anything. Okay, put your hand up. Put your hand up like you're going to put it in your mouth. Just say, oh, Christian.
Redirect.
Redirect immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately.
I need to work on that.
I mean, we don't want him to do a whole bunch of flapping, but find something to do with your hands. Do like a clap. Find something else to do.
Entertaining.
Yeah. And then that's when you have your sensory toys or something for him to play with. And sand is fun though. So I don't know. This but just try to if he tries to put it in his mouth.
So yeah.
So if he's gonna go for the sand, just every time he reaches for his mouth. And then it redirect, and then just try to do it without your voice, and then you'll see eventually he'll just probably put it close to his mouth, and he'll be like,
yeah. You see, you know these things, but then you kind of like forget about it. And now that you were talking about nagging, it brought me back to the day at the beach, and Hugo was like, babe, you tell him so much, he's not gonna listen. I'm like, yeah, I guess. Like I was just picturing myself listening, like if I was him. Christian, don't do that. Christian, don't do that. Like you're gonna block it. Yeah.
So I'm gonna put this sand on my lips because sand is fun.
It is, and then like the texture, he's all about texture. So like he might not even swallow it. It's just like putting it in his tongue. You know?
Yeah. He wants to figure it out. Oh, okay. And then for him, he loves to taste. He likes
everything. He'll lick things. You remember he had a licking problem? Like we'll be waiting by the wall and he'll be like licking the wall. Yeah.
Well, he only did it a couple times, and then you know why he didn't do that so much? It's because you eased it. When he leaned in to lick, and then I was like, Mom, that's typical for children who are on the spectrum to want to taste. And you leaned in, and then you was like, because if you had said, Christian, don't lick the wall, don't lick the wall,
which I would have. It's true.
It's just second nature. Like,
Yep.
why is she keeping me from licking the wall? There must be something on this wall that I need to taste.
Yep.
Because I would want to do that. I'd be like, oh, what is this on this wall? You know.
Like you said, he's a kid.
He's a child.
Yeah.
He's a great kid too. We love him.
What would you say to, like, for if we do end up taking our child to school and we are uncomfortable with the teacher, do they have options? What can they do?
Okay, for I'm just gonna say this. Mm-hmm. I'm saying this as a mom.
Yeah.
There is no perfect school district. There is no perfect school. You want to find the best teacher, mm-hmm. and if you find that your teacher is not the teacher for you, and there is not an option next door, then you know what the next steps are. I would talk to the principal, and then I would talk to the teacher first, because you don't want the teacher to feel like, well, just talk to the teacher and say, well, I have a few concerns, and then if the teacher is not addressing those concerns, then I would make a note and say, hi, I would like to have a conference mm-hmm. with my teacher and you, so that maybe I wasn't clear to her what I'm missing, and then if it doesn't go well there, then I don't waste time. I don't want to say this because I'm a teacher, but I wouldn't have my child in that class. But you
can pull them out, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't have my child in that class, and I would try to see if I could put them in a different program. And if it didn't work, we at one time we homeschooled our son from kindergarten to second grade.
Yeah. He
had the best. I'm going to go ahead and say this. He had the best pre-K teacher. And the best Head Start teacher, because she set the tone for me.
Yeah.
Because I was a worse mom than you. Ask my husband. I was way worse. When I came to school, so I had a special education degree. I was like, I've been teaching for 8 or 9 years at that point. Mm-hmm. And so when she met my son, I was like, look, this is my son. This is what you're gonna do. And she was like, no. She just flat out told me no. She wasn't mean to me.
Yeah.
But she made it clear to me that I'm here for your son, not you.
Which is good.
And then we became, if she's watching, I love you. We became good friends because she was the first one to stand up to me and to show me that, take some of the reins off. Let him be a kid.
Well, I think that's what a good teacher should do, because you did that for me in a way. Like, I
saw myself in you, but I was like, oh, that's Lord, she's me. That's Lord, she's me.
I love, you have to hear from somebody else, even like apart from your husband or something, because I've told you my husband would be like, you're telling him too much, and it's like it goes in and out, like, no, I need to do this. But when a person that is the teacher, somebody that you feel has more experience, and then you were a fellow mom, and you hear these, and it's like,
I had been where you were. I've been there, because when my Christian went to school, I kid you not, I was a nightmare mama.
Yeah.
I was like, you gonna do this, and this. She's like, I'm gonna do no, and no.
I didn't do that.
No, you didn't. That's what I'm saying. That's why I was way worse. And I was like, what do you mean you're not gonna do this? I was like, this is what he needs. Mm-hmm. I said, did you read his IEP? She said, I read his IEP. Well, I don't know if she said this to me. I can't remember. This is in my mind. This is how I see her.
This is how you picture
I read his IEP, and I'm gonna do what the IEP says, and I'm gonna do what he needs.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of teacher you want.
Yeah.
You want the teacher that's gonna fight for your child.
Like, I don't care that it hurt my feelings. I care that you care enough.
Yeah.
That you care enough to want to do this, or like, the teacher is with your son for so many hours, and like, know him pretty much as much as I do, and certain things more than I do, because I don't know if he could do, like, let's say that snake thing that you say he can, but he'll do it with you, So like, it's good to have somebody that'll tell you the truth, because you don't want somebody that's going to sugarcoat things, because you guys have him for 6 hours or 8 hours, but then he has to come home with us, and we need to continue it. It's all about continuation in therapy and in school. Everybody needs to follow through. Yeah,
that's true. Everybody needs to follow through. Mm-hmm. And then the one thing is that we kind of worry because we want everybody to do the same thing. Sometimes it doesn't work. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it doesn't work because if I were to say, as far as the bathroom situation, what works for you at home may not work for you at school. I knew that a timer and giving him a little bit of privacy.
Oh, yeah.
I know those two work because it's like, okay, you standing
and
there.
And that really did. But the thing with Christian is that he changes so much. Like, one minute he'll want privacy, and the next it's like I come in and talk to him and he's peeing. And I'm like, well, did you want privacy or not? Like.
Well, sometimes it's like, Christian. Sometimes he he's like, okay, let me see if she's going to wait till I come pee.
He really does. Like, sometimes we'll sit there for 5 minutes, and then as I'm pulling up his diaper, I feel wet. And I'm like, oh my God. That voice,
Yeah. It's hard. Training.
And then it's hard to not get frustrated. Like, I don't want to, like, get that mean voice and be like, why, you were right there. Sometimes those little moments slip though, and then you
Because you're a mama.
and then you realialize like, shoot, like
you're a mom.
Yeah.
You cannot be perfect all the time. You can't be like, oh well, poor babe.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. I mean, like, you know, sometimes you do get frustrated because like, I've been doing this with you for a whole week.
Oh man.
Did you not get
20 minutes every
Yes.
day, every 20 minutes? It gets tough. It gets tough mentally on you, you know, like especially like I said, if you've been doing it for 2 hours and he hasn't peed and you've been taking him for 20 minutes for those 2 hours, and then he pees within like a minute of putting the diaper on, it triggers you to be like,
Yeah.
what am I doing?
What
am I
happened?
doing? You know?
You're like, what did I do wrong? You're frustrated with yourself, but the thing is just you just gotta keep trying, keep doing it, keep doing the process. He will get it.
I know.
He will get it. It might take him a little bit longer, but he will get it. And the difference is with at school is everybody's going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then he knows that at a certain time of the day, I'm going to the bathroom at this time of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's different. It's a different environment.
Yeah.
So maybe, I mean, I would say, and one thing about the home is that you're doing wonderful because you don't want a schedule to run your household.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was thinking maybe I need a routine, but then
you want a routine, but the
strict.
The routine and schedule are two different things.
Yeah.
So he knows what he's supposed to do at breakfast.
Yeah.
He knows what he's supposed to routine, what he's supposed to do for lunch, and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. Those are routine. A schedule is we do this. Now I agree with a schedule, but we have to transition. The schedule is not to run your home. So like sometimes you can go like, okay, so we're gonna do this today, and then make sure you let them know. Say we're gonna go off the schedule just a little bit. We're gonna do this because you want to be able to teach them to transition, to feel comfortable with. Okay, so we're not doing this right now. Mom says we're gonna do this. I don't want to do this right now because I know I'm used to doing this, but I'm gonna try it.
Yeah. See, I didn't know schedule and routine differently.
Mm-hmm. They are two different
So
things.
you're the pro.
I try to look. I try to be. I'm not always, because sometimes I'm like, oh, you know, I snap in a minute.
Yeah. Nobody's perfect.
Oh, it's not okay. It's not okay. So they're like, Miss Maya, that's not okay. All right, let's try again.
Yeah. One thing I was gonna ask, like for parents in general, I know like when he started school and I saw how much other kids could do on the spectrum, it's easy to be like, why can't my son do that, or why is he taking longer, or like, will he ever be able to do that? What kind of like advice do you have for somebody that's kind of like it's easy to like compare?
Like, it does feel easy to compare. You're like, I want my child to be doing this just like him. Don't compare.
Yeah.
Just don't. I mean, the spectrum is so broad.
Yeah.
It's so broad. So when you come in, the whole focus is your child. Mm-hmm. What is your child doing that's wonderful? Mm-hmm. And then and it's hard because you're like, well, even my kids, you know, they're typical. I'm like, well, he knows how to spell 10 words. Why you don't know how to spell 7? I mean, like, that's how I am with my daughter.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, Mama, this is how many I know how to spell.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really hard. So just think about it with Haiti. Don't compare.
Mm-hmm.
Don't compare Christian and Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
And don't compare your own child with anybody else's child, because, you know, they're not yours. Yeah. And then the spectrum is so broad that there may be something that your child is doing that the other parent is like, wow, I wish my kid could do that.
Yeah.
The other kids learn from Christian. Christian is a good example because his behavior is a whole lot more calmer. Yeah. He's able to calm himself immediately as compared to some kids who need a lot more time and reassurance. And then we try not to prompt. So with Christian, I don't have to do as much prompting when he gets ready. When I see the behavior about to arrive, I'm just like, okay, it's okay to be sad, and that's what you want to make sure you tell them. Because kids think that I'm not supposed to be angry and I'm going to tear things up. You have to let them know it's okay for you to be mad. And I let them know when I'm upset. Ooh. Because I have to show them what emotions are.
Yeah.
And Christian shows his emotions.
Yeah.
And he knows how to calm himself. And so the other kids are like, well, goodness. Wow, if Christian can calm himself, I can too. You know, because there have been kids who roll on the floor.
Yeah.
They get their behaviors are so strong, they're just like, you know, they can't take it. Even my son, like, sometimes he gets so frustrated he want to attack.
Yeah.
And then they'll see Christian who may feel the same way, and he gets upset, and then the teacher's like, it's okay for you to be mad, Christian. It's okay to be upset. And he gets so frustrated, he might stand up. Oh. Yeah. Then I say, well, you know what? We have to do that in our seat. And I'll just remind them, it's okay to be mad in your seat. And then the other kids are like, well, I don't have to roll on the floor. I can sit in my chair. And then they get it together. They're like, wow. I mean, like, Christian is such a good example. You know, and that's one thing you can't compare him to anybody else, because he is such a good example on that. And then although another child may be speaking, you know, Christian he may not be speaking, but his behavior, his
Yeah.
demeanor is so calming.
Yeah, I think now it's easier with time. I think it becomes easier to just be like, okay, like you said, everything, like every child has something great and negative, you know, like we just have to like focus on our own child.
Yeah.
And I get really happy with other people when other kids progress.
Yes,
and
you
I'm
do.
like,
I
"Oh,"
love that.
And like now, I even though like sometimes I get a little bit like, oh my son, you know, like, but it like let's not think about
It's
that.
all
Like
right.
just take it back, you know.
My
like,
child's 11. When we go out in public, I'm like, you know, I'm like, okay, I hope that they don't, you know, because because for us, we know that autism doesn't have any type of genetic markers like physical.
there's no
So I'm like, okay, what is he gonna do? And most people are like, oh, okay, yeah, okay. And I was like, well, you know, he's on the spectrum. They're like, really? So
Yeah.
it's different for us parents because you know we still I tell you don't compare, but then I'm still looking
It's
at
still-
my
I
own
think it's
child
human
like, okay,
nature.
I hope that you know he's not gonna look awkward when he's doing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, like you get used to all these
Mhm.
things, but I mean, like you said, it's human nature, and we don't want to draw attention. Like I don't want somebody to look at Christian bad, and if they look bad at him, I'm gonna have to get my claws out.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
go,
We're like, oh, wait a minute. Let me school you real quick.
And then I don't want. I know Christian's always aware, and I don't want to always have to be like he's on the spectrum. I don't want Christian to hear that all the time, you know. So sometimes
That's
I'm
true.
like,
He's
just look at him. I don't care, you know.
He's just
Like
he's a wonderful kid, and he fits in with with the other students. He does a fabulous job. He's a real good kid.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Don't stress so much.
Yeah.
I know you want that speech to come out, but I see that it's gonna come.
Yeah.
And even if it does not come out of here, there's a language going on, and we don't want to hinder that language.
Yeah.
Because once we take that away from, let's say if he's trying to sign to you and you put his hands down,
Oh,
that's like somebody taking a piece of tape
Yeah.
and wrapping it over your mouth and
Yeah.
tying you up.
Yeah. That's why if he can't have it, like I said, like if he can't even give me a sound, I'll take whatever he can give me. He
Yeah.
just has to know that he needs to tell me.
That's
his
right.
own
He
way.
has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yay. Well, this was our first little session. If you guys have any questions, write them down below, and maybe Miss Maya will let me do
yes.
another video with her.
Of
And
course.
what's your channel's name? You have a
Oh.
channel.
Asking Mom and Teacher by Maya.
I'll link it down below,
Asking
but
Mom and
it's
Teacher
super
by
good.
Maya.
She has a few. You have like 3 videos now, 4?
I think I have 4 videos.
Yeah, and they're really good.
thank you.
I'm missing the last one because
Well,
I was on vacation. But
Well, it's okay. If you'll notice, I ramble a whole lot, so I've got to learn how to be more like you, to be
Not
to the
ramble.
point. And I'm sorry, but I have so much to say. You know how much I'm passionate
Yeah.
about
Oh,
this.
yeah.
I'm passionate about
Yeah.
helping parents. I'm passionate about helping kids. You know, so I just want to give all this information at once, and then my husband's like, okay, wrap it up. Wrap it up.
No,
So,
but I
yeah.
think we want to absorb all that information. So, like, I think a lot of moms and dads, we're gonna be like, oh, what else? What else? You know,
Yes.
even your videos. I've talked to you so much, and I'm like, oh yeah, she did mention visuals, you know, or like the potty training tips
Yeah.
that you gave me. Like, I take it all in.
Yeah.
We just want as many tips as we can get. And if something doesn't work for us, it's okay. We just want to know that we tried something and
There
we're
you go.
moving it along.
There you
know?
go.
Thank you so much
I
for
love
having
you.
me. Thank you, and we
You're
miss
so
you.
sweet. I miss you
Hopefully
already.
Christian
Oh my
will see
gosh,
you
that's
soon.
why I'm always on TV. I'm like, oh, did they post a video? So I can watch. Oh, that's my babe.
No.
So yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes.
Thank you so much,
Oh,
and
no
we'll
problem.
see you soon. Bye.